Hi, welcome in today. My name's Cameron. I'm going to be your social worker. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, well, before we get started, I do have to go over our agency's confidentiality policy. So, for one, if you are a risk to yourself or others, I do have to break our confidentiality. Also, I am a PA mandated reporter for child abuse of vulnerable adults, physically and mentally vulnerable adults. I'm also a mandated reporter for elder abuse. There are some circumstances where I may have to go over what we say, like your notes to my supervisor, and we'll just go over that. That's another way we can break confidentiality. And even though it's rare, sometimes there are some legal circumstances where we would have to break confidentiality. But then other than that, everything that is said between me and you does stay in this room. Do you have any other questions?
No.
Or do you agree with the policy?
Yeah, I think I agree.
So your English teacher referred you to me because you kind of wrote a kind of questioning poem in your English class.
Yeah.
Do you care to tell me about that?
Yeah, it was just a poem on how I've been feeling lately and everything that's going on.
Yeah, I mean, it said something about wanting to end your pain, this endless pain. Like, when does it stop? Did something happen? Or have you just, like, this is just, like, a prolonged feeling you've been having? Has there been a certain event? Or is it just, like...
Well, I came out as bi to everyone and my family, and while after that my parents started fighting. I got into a relationship, and we kind of just broke up like a month ago. It was my first relationship with a girl since coming out as bi, so it's just kind of been hard.
Yeah, do you feel like you've kind of been like, you let your guard down, you let your walls down because you just came out as bisexual then? It was just your girlfriend, your first one breaking up with you. You feel like kind of like betrayed, and you feel like you put your guard down and someone just kind of like stabbed you in the back with that.
I trusted her a lot, and I was like, oh, this is like one of the first, and I really did care about her, and it was just kind of sucks that it all ended.
So your parents are fighting and she helped you through that all? So you feel like you kind of like lost a big support there to help you with something that you were really like upset and stressed over?
Yeah, I really did. Like, she was one of my biggest supporters.
So your family, have you always had like a good relationship with them and stuff?
A pretty good relationship. It got a little rocky whenever I came out as bi, but it started to get a little bit better.
Yeah. How was it growing up? Like, were they like always nice? It was just when you became bi they were...
Yeah, it was pretty good. They had some questionable things about like how I dressed and everything while growing up, but like after I came as bi, it became a little bit more difficult. But my mother is more understanding. My father is kind of like having a hard time with it.
So you can go to your mother. You have a stronger relationship with your mother than your father because she's more accepting.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you just kind of like, so you feel very lost right now. Relationship, parents are fighting. It's been really rocky, and now your girlfriend broke up with you. Your ex-girlfriend broke up with you. Do you have like any friends that you have went to about all of this? Or like any like support system outside of the girlfriend and the mother?
Yeah, I have one best friend here, and then I also talked to my English teacher who came here to told me to come here. So.
I mean, yeah, do you, like, how's your relationship? Like, do you have, like, a lot of friends? Do you have some friends? Like, what would you say? Like, you go out a lot, or you're pretty secluded? Like,
I have some friends. Not a lot. I just get overwhelmed by a lot of people, so.
Do your friends know of what you wrote in English class, how you're feeling, stuff like that? Yeah,
my best friend does, because she gave, like, the one line about cutting and everything. It was, I know that she does, and I was wondering, like, does this, like, really help with the pain? but I haven't done it, and I promise I'm not suicidal. It's just was wondering, like, will this help me?
Just a thought. Yeah. I mean, but you kind of felt when your friend said that it was kind of normalized. Like you thought it was kind of like, I know you know that it's not okay to cut, but like you writing that, you felt like it was normalized. Like it was kind of like, because it is very common for teenagers to feel really down, feel like say stuff like that. And it is very, very common. And I know a lot of it goes like undetected, but it's a good thing that you did come in here today and your English teacher did refer you after what you said in English class. But I mean, with everything, how have you been coping recently? Like with everything that's been going on, what have you been doing?
I haven't really been doing much. I've been reading some poems for class, and that's why I was like really into this poem. Writing it helped me a little bit, surprisingly.
Yeah. Did you just pick up poetry and like kind of writing, reading, kind of? Or you just picked it up?
Yeah, we were just talking about like we were just reading poems, and I was like, oh, this is a really interesting way. And this poem, it just kind of like flowed out of me. Just somehow, it felt really good to like write it all down.
That's good. Have you ever kind of like considered like any other hobbies, or have you just been like, oh, I really like to read, like the literature kind of stuff?
I didn't really like literature that much. I kind of was like a person who just hung out with my friends, watched movies or something. But like now that I'm started this class with this English teacher, it's been pretty.
You have a really strong bond with her.
Yeah.
That's really nice. And I like how you can find like that kind of stuff, and you can find your interests and stuff that you like, even though you are going through a really hard time right now. Have you ever really considered how do you feel when you're writing, like in your reading? How does that make you feel?
It really helps me. It like makes me feel like there's a weight like lifted off of me. Just writing everything down.
So you feel like if you were just writing, like it would help with all the emotions, like of like taking the pain away, easing your anxiety, your stress, stuff like that. So I think that you should continue like doing your stuff in writing, because it seems to like you say it seems to really help you and stuff. So why did you and your ex-girlfriend break up?
She wasn't ready. She's also bi. She came out a while ago, but she's like, I don't think you're ready. I don't think I'm ready to be with you yet. And I honestly think she just wanted to be with this other girl, because
so it's just the betrayal again and again and again. Yeah, and I know that's frustrating because you know who you are, and it's upsetting when you're showing who you are and the other person is not, they don't believe you, even though you trust them.
Yeah.
Yes. So do you still contact her or anything? No.
No.
Do you think it would be bad if you did?
I think so. I don't think I could.
You don't think
now.
you could?
Okay. Maybe later on, but.
Have you tried just like hanging out with like other people as well to like make you feel better, or are you kind of like okay?
I've hung out with some of my friends. Yeah.
The one that does cut.
Yeah, her and another group of us who just like hang out.
That's good. Do you feel that like if you hang around them more, like it's gonna like they might kind of like influence you in a bad way, or no?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay, good.
Mostly because like now that I'm thinking about writing more, I feel like that'll help me, and like that won't be the only way to help with my pain.
Yeah. Well, you do. I mean, writing is such like a beautiful thing, and I'm glad that you did find that, because like literature is very, very beautiful, and it does take a lot of stress off. So I do want to have a session with you again next week, because I feel like these events in your life are very prevalent, and they do take a lot of space in your mind. I mean it's hard being a junior in high school and you're getting hit with the parents, the girl coming out, that is so much and a lot to deal with. And I'm glad that you found a coping mechanism like writing. So, by next week, it's probably same day, just the same day, same time, work for you next week. I want you to continue your writing because that seems to have taken just so much. It just seems to me that you very much enjoy it. Continue with your literature. Continue reading. Continue to make connections and stuff with your friends. I want you to be as safe as possible. So, if you have any concerns about your well-being, because I do trust you. Promise, I do trust you when you say that you're not going to harm yourself, but I just want to make sure that you are okay. So throughout the week, if you have any questions or concerns, or maybe you need to come in early, you need to talk about stuff earlier than next week. I can fit you in for you, the appointment and stuff. I just want to make sure that you are safe with yourself and especially other people. So if that is all. Is that all you want to say before we close off?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I will see you next week, same day, same time. It was a pleasure meeting you, and I will see you next week.
It was